Hello, this is Shane Ingle with Remax, and this video is to go over a few questions that whenever you're interviewing a realtor that you're considering working with, you want to ask them point blank. How they answer these questions will tell a lot about A, how they work, B, if their style is going to mesh with yours, and C, how skilled they are at answering the questions, number one. But number two, their answers themselves will give you a good idea if they're the right realtor for you. So here goes. The first one being, are you full-time or part-time? Unfortunately, for many people, real estate is really considered more of a hobby rather than a profession. And if you're going to invest both your time and a substantial amount of money, you probably want to make sure that the person you're working with, hopefully the professional, is as committed to the process or even more committed than you are. There's really no reason to work with a part-time person. I do see it from time to time with regards to someone wants to work with a family member or a friend, and I'm not in the business of telling people what's good for them, if they've decided differently, but for me personally, I would definitely want to make sure that if I'm working with a realtor, they're full-time. I've got a list here I'm just referencing if you see me look off into the distance. The second question I would ask, and you probably won't find this question listed on many of these types of videos or blog posts or what have you, with realtors, telling people what kind of questions they should ask. But to me, this one is obvious. How much do you charge? Again, I mean, we all know the old saw, you get what you pay for, which in most cases in life is true. If you go for the cheapest option, you will probably get a subsequently cheap result. In addition, as I referenced before, the way the realtor answers this question, for example, if you're thinking of hiring a realtor to sell your home, and you say, will you cut your commission? And they just right away, I'll do whatever. I mean, part of what you're hiring the realtor for is hopefully their negotiation skills, and to me that kind of answer doesn't really exhibit a high degree of negotiation skill. So if they won't even negotiate on their own behalf very well, they're probably not going to negotiate on your behalf nearly as well. So it's a telling question. It'll give you a lot of answers beyond just the surface answer to the question. Another one, especially if you're hiring a realtor to sell your home, is what is your history? Like, what percentage of list price do you on average get for your clients? How long do your listings on average stay on market? You want to know this stuff. Another question is, will you service our listing, or if you're a buyer, will you be the one showing us homes, or will you have an assistant doing it? How do you work? If we choose to work with you, how does that look? Another one is, how many sellers and buyers are you currently representing? Again, there's really no right or wrong answer to that question, because Ben Franklin is famous for having said, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. So just because someone has a lot of clients, usually there's a reason for that. Usually it means they're good at what they do. So that is question number 5. Question number 6, and this is specific more towards if you're looking to sell a home, but what is your marketing plan? Particularly, how do you address internet marketing? Because I'm sure I don't have to tell you, but especially if you're watching this YouTube video or looking at our website, but internet marketing, if a marketer is not savvy on the internet, online, they must be like living in a cave or something. I would not hire that person. I would want to make sure that their internet presence and their strategy is very effective and sound and innovative. What is your policy regarding communication? Ideally, I'm usually the one asking the client that question because I want to communicate in the way that they find most useful. Some people, a vanishingly small number of people nowadays prefer the phone. That number is getting fewer and fewer as we have more and more demands on our time, and it's just easier to text and email most of the time. But some people still prefer the phone, and your realtor, like I said, should really want to communicate with you the way that that's convenient for you if you're hiring them. So it's just another thing to get off the table and make sure that there's a mutual understanding there. Another question that most people don't really think to ask is, what kind of insurance do you carry? I know with us, our errors and emissions insurance, which we carry, which covers all of our transactions, is very good. It actually transfers over to providing a degree of protection not only to us, but also to our seller clients. So on the other hand, if you hire a broker with either no insurance or inadequate insurance, do they have the financial wherewithal to, if they get sued or, it happens. So it's better to be ready for it. It's better to ask the question up front. How much of your business is generated by referrals? If a broker or an agent has a history of, I call it one and done, meaning they work a transaction for a particular client and that client doesn't refer them to their friends or family, there's a reason for that. So if someone has a high percentage of their business coming from referrals, that's usually a good sign. So another good question to ask. What references can you provide? This is a related question, but are there past clients willing to talk to new future prospective clients? It's a worthwhile thing to know, and if they're willing to share that information, and if their past clients are willing to talk to you, I don't see why you wouldn't take them up on that. And the last question I have here is, do you offer an easy exit or an easy cancellation policy if I'm not satisfied? Personally, I think the best businesses in the world have the most generous return policies. For example, LL Bean. If you buy something from them, a jacket, shoes, whatever, and for any reason you're dissatisfied, you call them, or you go online, you submit a return ticket, you send it back. They make sure you're satisfied. And as such, I mean, they're a profitable business. They sell a quality product, so they don't get many returns as a percentage of their business. In a similar vein, a real estate broker, I personally think should offer some kind of easy cancellation policy, because if they do, it means that they're confident in the service they provide. It means that not many people are taking them up on this policy. And I just think it's a sign of strength when someone's willing to let you out of a deal if, you know, for whatever reason, maybe your personalities clash or your needs change or whatever. So anyway, those are 10 good questions to ask. I hope that's helpful, and thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.